feel free to let me know if you have any questions in the comments down below. Right, this question set belongs to our ebook, which is 1000 synthesis and transformation questions. Okay, sorry, I was connecting to TikTok. Okay, so yes, please let me know if you're unable to see the questions or unable to hear my audio, right? I'll make the necessary adjustments. So hello everyone, welcome to our live. Remember to follow and like the live if you haven't. Okay, welcome. Okay, it's a nice Friday afternoon. Okay, good to see you. Hello. Hello Emily, hello, welcome. Welcome Jeffrey, welcome Susan. Okay, hi everyone. Hello. Yes, so we are doing 50 S&T questions as well as Compre Cloze. So this is actually very helpful resource for P6 students. Those who are preparing for your PSLE, please listen up. Right, this is a very good resource that you are able to purchase to self-study, because when you purchase this ebook, it comes with an answer key. So you can self-mark the practice and you can realize that you can make markings and say that, oh, actually I got this question wrong, right? And you identify the problems on your own. So for students who are willing to, or who wants to do like more practice, right, this will be extra helpful for you, especially if you are looking at a specific type of question type in your English paper 2 exams, right? So if you are weaker in grammar and vocabulary, you can buy the grammar and vocab ebook, right? If you are weaker in synthesis and transformation, then you can buy our synthesis and transformations ebook. Okay, so for those of you who are here, right, hello, welcome, thank you for joining our live today. Okay, so before we start off with this, right, let me show you how you can get this ebook via our TikTok main page. So you can actually go to our TikTok over here, right, go to our main page, right? So from our main page over here, you can click on the link in bio. Okay, after you click on the link in bio, right, scroll down to our ebook store. Scrolling down to ebook store, and you can see that we have a new release page over here. So this ebook store page will be very good for you to. Oh, hello Miffy. Yes, teacher Yahweh will be back on Tuesday, so stay tuned. Okay, so how to get to this? Yeah, this morning we did the 1200 grammar and vocabulary questions ebook, right, which is over here. Yes, thank you Miffy. So next, for now we'll be doing 1000 PSLE synthesis and transformation questions ebook. Okay, so welcome all. Welcome to our live session. We are doing this ebook today, so let me just show you a quick glimpse of like what is the things or common questions that can be tested in synthesis, right? Hello Xiao Mei Mei, oh my goodness, hi. Is Irina here? Irina isn't here yet. Okay, hello, welcome everyone. Okay, has school ended for all of you? Right, all of you are going home, finish CCA, finish school, right? So it's actually a good. If you didn't even ask yet, how no? Yes, because I know that you were waiting for Irina. Oh, she probably has training, I see. Okay, yeah, but it's a nice Friday afternoon for some English revision, right? So yes, so let's just see if any more people are going to join us. And so let's look at this PSLE question, right? This is actually in the website for the ordering page. So this actually from last year's, right? The most recent PSLE paper 2 question, right? This is one of the synthesis and transformation practice question that you should actually take note of. So Ferry enjoys playing soccer with his classmates. Okay, so you see, in PSLE, they can even give you questions like this, right? It may not just be the generic, but because, however, questions or neither nor either or, right? These questions can also appear, right, to throw you off guard. And maybe for some students, they may find that, oh, this is a great chance for me to showcase my S&T skills. And for some of you, you may actually dread doing these kinds of questions because you're unsure of how to do it, right? You have never encountered any questions like this before. Why? Because you didn't do a lot of S&T practices, right? Even in school, how many how many times have you actually done a proper S&T 5 question practice? Right? Usually it's always during exams only, or like during lessons you try to form sentences, but we don't really look at S&T very often, do we? Okay, I just got my brain burned during my math WA2. Oh, Xiao Mei Mei, you had your math WA2 just now. I see. Okay, how was it? Now it's time to focus on English, I guess. Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to our live. Alright, so these are some possible things that may appear in your PSLE, right? So for questions like this, the students who are well prepared, right? The students who actually done all your revision materials for S&T will actually be able to get these 2 marks, right? So it's actually a free 2 marks for those who are strong in your S&T. So this is actually your chance to shine, right? By doing more S&T practices, it will surely pay off. Okay, so today we are back at this paper, right? Frank is a famous badminton player in Singapore. His mother sells chicken rice every morning. Okay, so when we have whose, we don't need to repeat Frank anymore. Okay, when we have whose, we don't need to repeat Frank anymore. Okay, hello. Hello, welcome to our live. Okay, so first question, right? Let's just see how we can answer this question. So Frank, okay, Frank, who's what? Okay, what belongs to Frank? Okay, the mother is Frank's mother, so this is arrow to him. So whose mother? Whose mother what? Whose mother cannot be a famous badminton ma, so it will be sells chicken rice every morning, right? So this is the correct answer. Whose mother sells chicken rice? Oops. Yes, sells chicken rice every morning. Okay, then we have to put a comma. Is a famous, sorry, famous comes first, famous badminton player in Singapore. Okay, is a famous badminton player in Singapore. Yippee, yes, very good, Xiao Mei Wei. That's correct. Okay, so this is how you're supposed to do this question. Remember to put in your commas and full stops. Okay, so question number 2. Jane has a test which begins in half an hour's time. Jane is still in bed, so we have a but. Okay, but we need to use this but to connect the two sentences. Okay, so for question number 2, right, what would the answer be? Okay, Jane has a test which begins in half an hour's time, but Jane is still in bed. Okay, do we need to repeat Jane? Right, do we have to repeat Jane for this case? Okay, so over here the question is Jane has a test which begins half an hour's time, but she, okay, Jane is a girl, so we use she, is still in bed. Okay, so this is how we are going to write answer out, right? So the but shows the contrast, right? So because she has a test, but she is still in bed, right? She's supposed to be getting ready for the test or going to prepare and revise for the test, right? But she's still lying in the bed. And moving on to question number 3. Greg was angry with Jonathan. Jonathan broke his favorite toy car when he tripped over it. Okay, so for. We use for as indication of the reason for something happening. Right? So John was angry. Why? Oh, sorry, not John. Greg was angry. So why was Greg angry? Okay, so Greg, okay, I was angry with Jonathan. What's the reason? Okay, for breaking Okay, moving on to our next question. Question number 4. Okay, you must concentrate on the music. You will be able to enjoy it. So now we have unless, right? So unless can be replaced with, once again, if you don't. Okay, so we can replace unless with if you don't, right? So if you don't concentrate, so unless you concentrate on the music. Okay, so if you don't concentrate on the music, what will happen? You will not be able to enjoy it, right? So you will not be able to enjoy it. Okay, question number 5. Mr. Yong was very grateful to Sergeant Harry for recovering his stolen car. Mr. Yong gave Sergeant Harry a reward. Okay, so to express his gratitude, right? So we change grateful to gratitude. This is the noun form. Right, changing grateful to gratitude. So what would the answer be, right? So to express his gratitude, Mr. Yong gave Sergeant Harry a reward for recovering his stolen car. Okay, so to express his gratitude, Mr. Yong gave Sergeant Harry a reward for recovering his stolen car. Hey, hi everyone, welcome to our live. So for those of you who are new here, feel free to share the live with your friends if you find that it is helpful, and follow us if you haven't. Okay, question number 1. So Jane was trying to get the boy out of the pool. She lost her grip on her boy's hand. Okay, so when we use when, right? So what's the answer for this question over here? Okay, welcome everyone. Hello, welcome to our live session. Okay, so over here, right, Jane was trying to get the boy out of the pool, right? She lost her grip on the boy's hand. Okay, so over here, Jane was trying to get the boy out of the pool when she lost her grip on his hand, right? We don't need to repeat the boy, so we write his hand. Okay, so this question can actually be answered in both ways. So Jane lost her grip on the boy's hand when trying to get him out of the pool. Okay, so it can also be said in this manner, right? So depending on how you phrase the sentence, as long as you don't change the context of it, right, it is possible to get the answer correct as well. Okay, unless once again we replace it with if they don't. Okay, so if they don't, so unless people accept the truth of my story, it is unlikely I will come out of hiding. Okay, so this is how we answer this question over here. Okay, question number 3. Jenna did well in her English test. Her mother was proud of her. So Jenna's mother was, right, Jenna's mother was proud of Jenna. Okay, as she did well, right? As she did well in her English test. Okay, so Jenna's mother was proud of Jenna as she did well in her English test. Okay, moving on to the next question. Question 4. My father was caught in the traffic jam. He was late for work yesterday. So this happened first, this happened next, right? When we see a before and after question, right, we just label it by number. So 2 first, 2 comes after 1, right? So basic sequence. So we know that we have to say that my father was late for work yesterday. After being caught in the traffic jam. Okay, so this is how we answer this question over here. My father was late for work yesterday after being caught in the traffic jam. Okay, moving on to question number 5. Okay, question 5. Amy rushed out of the library. She did not take her books. Right, so we use without to replace did not. Okay, so over here, Amy rushed out of the library without taking her books. Okay, practice 3. Okay, neither of, right? So both the students failed their test, so both is a positive. Therefore, this is changed to a negative phrase, right? So fail, we have to change from a negative to the positive. Okay, so neither of the students passed, right? We change fail to pass their test. Okay, so this is how it is, right? Neither of the students passed their test. Moving on to question number 2. The police have taken the stolen loot as evidence of the crime. So the stolen loot, blank, right? So have taken because the police is plural. Okay, however, the stolen loot is singular. So the stolen loot has been taken. The stolen loot has been taken by the police as evidence of the crime. Okay, so this is how we form the phrase, right? We change the have to has because from plural to singular. Okay, so we have to make sure that you change it from the plural form to the singular form. Okay, moving on to question number 3. He was punished severely as he refused to apologize for his offense. So resulted, right? So what is the cause and what is the effect? So this is the result. So therefore this is the result and this is why what he did, right? So therefore the answer is his refusal. Okay, we change refuse to refusal. His refusal to apologize resulted in him being punished severely or severely punished. Okay, so this is the correct answer, right? So his refusal to apologize resulted in him being severely punished. Okay, now at question 4, we have the speech question. Oh, hello the dice and Sasusaku. Okay. Yes. Hello. So yes, this is actually the same practice, the dice, and we are currently doing the direct and indirect speech now. Okay, so for those of you who are here, right, Thank you for joining our live this afternoon. We are doing S&T questions from our 1000 synthesis and transformation questions ebook. Okay, so you can try doing this question, right, without any prompts or any hints that I give. Right, so you can remember what is the key things you have to look out for in these indirect speech questions. Okay, Mr. Go asked Jeremy. You change to he, yes, right? You can change to he. Okay, your change to his. What else? What else do we have to change? If he revised his, yes. Okay, Mr. Go asked Jeremy if he. Are you sure it's revised? Okay, are you sure it's revised? What else do we have to change for this question? Okay, do you remember? Do you remember the rule for this question? Right. So if you see in the dialogue that it is what tense, what do you have to change it to? Right. Last night, yes. What do you have to change last night to? Yes, the previous night, that's correct. Okay, so what do we change revise to? Do we remember what tense do we have to use? We have to use past perfect tense, right? We have to use past perfect tense. So I'm eating sour candy. Wow, you like sour candy, is it? Some people actually hate sour things, right? Makes them squint their eyes, like because it's too sour. They have to scrunch their face. Okay, so if he had revised, okay, take note, we have to change this because this is in past tense. So we have to change it to a past perfect tense. So past perfect tense is had revised. Okay, if he had revised his homework or his work, sorry, his work the previous night. Okay, so please take note of this question, right? Very commonly tested. Okay, please screenshot all the annotations or something if you find that it will be helpful for you as well. Okay, you have to change this from past tense to past perfect tense in the answer. Okay, so all of the annotations here are very important. You need to know what you have to change. Okay, I boxed up the tenses question that you have to change the tense from revised to had revised. So for those of you who are struggling with direct to indirect speech questions and always cannot manage to get the full 2 marks for this question, right, please understand that there are several hints that you have to look out for, right? Not just last night, not just you to his, right? It also matters when you change the tense, right? From revised to had revised. Okay, hi CW Hor. Bad for all the tenses. Yes, so it's okay, but with more practice, you are able to understand how you can get past tense, present tense, past participle, past perfect. Yes, it's definitely difficult, right? Not everyone will be able to get it in one try, right? It takes practice and it takes time to slowly, get the hang of it. My English not good. No, it's okay. Right, if you do more practice it will get better, right? Everyone starts from zero, right? Basically all of us starts from zero, so with more practice you'll be able to get the hang of it and you'll start loving English more. Same. Yeah, so for both of you, if you find that English is difficult and you are unsure of how you can improve on your own, right, you can consider joining Writers at Work for one thing, or you can just join our daily live English lessons if you do not have the time, right? It's a good alternative to actually listen in and learn some basic grammar rules or vocabulary along with us as well. Okay, hi Cheyenne, welcome everyone. Okay, everyone has finished school at this hour, right? 3 p.m. on a Friday. So all of you are in for a S&T revision. We are doing this 50 synthesis and transformation questions from this 1000 PSLE S&T practice question ebook. Okay, so anyone who is interested to purchase, please let me know if you need any help or questions, right? Just feel free to type in the comments below over here. Okay, so the princess entered the dance hall grandly. Okay, do you enter the dance hall? Oh, sorry. Do you do AV? What is that? Is that adverbs? What are you referring to? Adverbs? As in, what do you mean by adverbs? Do you want to like elaborate a little more? Saku, yes. Like, what do you mean by do you do adverbs? Are you looking at like just specific adverbs list or something? Yes. Oh. Okay. The princess made a grand entrance into the hall. Oh, you need practice with tenses. But noun, verb, adjective, adverb, they are not called tenses, right? They are called the word forms, right? So yes, we do have to do these in synthesis as well. So wait, let me answer Cheyenne's question first. Grand entrance into the hall. Okay, very good. This is correct. So okay, Saku. So take note that tenses are called past, okay, present, okay, and past tense. Right, there are two different types of tenses. And over here, oh sorry, need dance. Thank you guys for telling me into the dance hall. Okay, I missed out on the word. Yes, so present and past, we do have the perfect tense. We do have the participle tense. And we just have this is the simple tense. Okay, the simple tense. So for past, we also have past perfect and participle. Okay, oh, we don't forget continuous as well. Okay, so these are just some recaps on tenses, right? For those of you who are still unsure of it, right? So what do you mean by past perfect? Like, you're unsure what past perfect means, right? Continuous is ing. Yes, continuous is ing. Oops. Yes, Cheyenne, no worries. Right, I'm glad you realized. Okay, so a recap, right? So present tense is something that is happening now. Okay, so now we are looking at present tense first. Okay, I'll use blue color. Okay, present tense. Okay, something happening now or future. Okay, so this is a present tense. So hard. CW hard is okay, right? We learn together. So what is a example, right, for a simple present tense sentence? She walks to school. Okay, so this is simple present. Okay, she walks to school, right? How about present continuous tense? Okay, she is walking. Okay, she is walking to school. Okay, she is walking. So why is it continuous, right? Currently, what is she doing? Right, it's continuous, it's ongoing, right? She is currently walking, she's not stopping, right? She continuously walking to school. for this period of time, right? She is walking to school. So this is present continuous. Okay, present perfect. Okay, present perfect. She has walked to school. Okay, so present perfect means that it happened in the past and it actually carries on to now, right? It is still applicable today. Okay, so that's what present perfect tense is. So she has walked to school. It means that until now we know that she has and she did walk to school, and that is a fact that we cannot change, right? And present perfect continuous. Okay, present perfect continuous is she has been walking to school since 30 minutes ago, let's say. Okay, so since this time, right, she has been walking to school, right? It started in the past and it continues on until now, right? It started 30 minutes ago and it's still perfect continuous. This is so confusing. Definitely it takes time for you to remember, or maybe even apply into the context over here. Okay, so for past tense is simple, so it's just the opposite. Okay, so for past tense wise, we will just change walks to school to walked. Okay, she walked to school, she was walking to school, she had walked to school, and she had been walking to school. Can you see the difference now? Right, can you see the difference between all of these words over here? So it's like walked, was, what, had, and had. Right, so we just change the tense of this. We do not need to touch the continuous form at all. Okay, so the green part will indicate the past tense version of the sentences. So you just ignore this. If you want to make this sentence past tense, so she walked to school, so that happened in the past, right? And for future tense is she will walk to school, she will be walking to school, she will have walked to school, or she will have been walking to school. So you add a will for future tense, but we don't really see future tense very often, so you just need to take note of past and present tense. Okay, so let me give you an example, right? So let's go back to it. Okay, so if the sentence is they had finished their homework before dinner. Okay, what tense is this sentence in? Okay, what tense is this sentence in? Okay, does anyone know? Right, just try answering this question over here to see if you are able to get the example sentence. Past perfect. Yes, Raylin, that is correct. Okay, so Cheyenne is correct as well. So why is it past perfect, right? What tells us that it is past perfect? Okay, what tells us that it's past perfect? What is the thing that you have to take note of? You have to highlight, right? Had finished, yes. Okay, so this is the keyword you have to take note of. Had finished is the correct thing that you have to take note of to tell you that it's past tense. So for synthesis and transformation, right, when you see all of these things you're unsure of, you have to look at this in order to maybe tell yourself that, oh, these are the tenses that I have to change. That there's a lot of things you need to remember, but it slowly, by practicing more and more, it will become something that is at the back of your mind, right? So with more practice for synthesis, you will actually be able to get all of these questions almost perfectly done, right? So maybe one last example before we continue with the questions. So let's say I have lived here for let's say 10 years. Okay, so I blank, right? So have lived here for 10 years. What is this, right? What tense is this question asking us in? Is it in past, present, future tense? And what is the specific tense we are looking at, right? Take some time to um, see the pattern here, right? I'll scroll up for you to refer. Okay, I have lived here for 10 years. Okay, CW Hall, yes. Okay, so this is in fact present perfect tense because have lived, right? If it will be in past perfect tense, this will be had. Okay, can you see the difference between have and had? Have is the present and had is the past. Okay, very good, CW Hall. I'm glad you understood the question. So this is how you identify. So let me just bracket it over here. This is past perfect and this is present perfect. Okay, so you managed to understand present perfect and past perfect now, right? So feel free to take a screenshot of this because I feel like it may be helpful for you when you are trying to revise for your English WAs that is upcoming, or maybe even your papers in the future, right? When you are looking at synthesis question and you get confused, refer to your gallery for this page better. Yes, can understand better. I'm glad that you can understand it better now. Right, we can try more synthesis and transformation questions. Right, so if any of you have any questions, just feel free to let me know in the comments as well. Right, this is the 1000 PSLE S&T practice ebook. So by doing more of the practices, right, you purchase the ebook, you do and drill yourself with all these questions, it will definitely come in handy for you. Okay, so yep, this is about it, right? This is the most confusing part for students for past and present perfect. So remember to take note of these tenses when you are looking at questions as well, especially for grammar MCQ, right? They often test us on these things. Okay, next question, question number 1. We use in spite of to connect these two sentences. So when you see these two sentences, right, we have to use a connector when there's a contrast. Okay, so let's split this into half. Right, I learned that. Okay, Susan went to school in spite of her being ill. Wow, that is very good. Susan went to school in spite of okay, in spite of her being ill. Okay, or her illness. Okay, moving on to the next question. Question number 2. My brother does not like eating yogurt. My sister does not like eating yogurt either. So neither of. This is a question that everyone always gets it wrong every single live session. No matter how many times we do it, there will still be someone who falls for the trap. Okay, the dice. Neither of my siblings like eating yogurt. Once again, there is an error. Okay, so neither of my siblings likes eating yogurt. Okay, this is then the correct answer for this question over here. Yes. Okay, so moving on to question number 3. Did you did you witness the accident along this road last night? Okay, now we have our favorite question, right? Direct to indirect question. So let's try again. Why cannot put my brother and my sister? Because neither of. Okay, neither of refers to a group of people. Okay, so when I say neither of, right, it will be neither of the students, the girls Okay, or the maybe neither of the members. Okay, you can see that these are like the people that they are referring to. But my brother and my sister are individuals. So neither my brother nor my sister. Okay, that will be correct instead. Right, so let's look at question number 3. Okay, so looking at this, what are the hints that we have to change? Okay, so the police officer asked Jenny, right? If yes, we change you to she. Okay, what else? This, yes. Okay, we know last night changed to the previous night. Okay, did and witness. So I box up this. This is important for us to take note of. Did and witness. Okay, so we can now craft our sentences based on the things that we have changed. Right, so how do we start? If she, okay, if she, okay, I'll give you the first two words continuing from the sentence. So if she, okay, so any questions? Okay, witnessed. Okay, so did did you witness, right? This is not present tense. Why is witness not did you witness? Okay, this is wrong because in this context, witness has to be in its base form. Okay, witness has to be in its base form because of the word did. Okay, so if she had witnessed will be the correct thing because did over here indicates that it is past tense. Okay, can you remember? Right, unless they say do you, right? If they say do you remember, right? That is when we don't change it to past perfect, but we change to past tense only. But because of did is past tense, so we have to say had witnessed. Okay, so if she had witnessed the accident along that road the previous night. Okay, so this is the correct answer for this question over here. So the police officer asked Jenny if she had witnessed the accident along the road the previous night. The night before, oh Cheyenne. Okay, so Cheyenne, for this quiz, right, some school teachers may actually only want you to stick to one, which is either the night before or the previous night. So for this, you have to check with your own school teacher on whether the night before is accepted. Okay. So it depends on your school. Okay, question number 4. Terry had withdrawn from the basketball team. The coach was shocked. Okay, so hi everyone who are new here. Right, welcome to our live session. We are doing 1000 PSLE S&T practice ebook from Writers at Work. Okay, so for those of you who haven't followed us, feel free to follow and like our live, share our live to your friends if you find that this is helpful for them as well. Okay, so question number 4. Terry had withdrawn from the basketball team. The coach was shocked. So why was the coach shocked, right? There is a cause and an effect. So this is the effect. The coach was shocked. And this is the cause. Okay, so the effect was caused by something, right? Your teacher said both is fine. Yes, Shine, then sure, you can write both. Okay, the night before will be accepted as well. The coach was shocked. Okay, the coach was shocked by okay, so for this question, by Terry withdrawing from the basketball team. Okay, that's a very good try, right, Saku? That's a very good try. So the coach was shocked by Terry's. Okay, so withdraw, right? What is the noun form of withdraw? Okay, so withdrawn, right? This is had withdrawn is actually the past. This is the past perfect tense. Okay, we change it to Terry's withdrawal, the noun form. Okay, for nouns, they don't have tenses, right? So noun will always stay as withdrawal. Okay, so Terry's withdrawal from the basketball team. Okay, so moving on to question number 5. Rachel is very persistent. She has made a new swim record in the Youth Olympics. So owing to her, right, this belongs to Rachel. So owing to her what? Owing to her can use the fact that, okay, Saku, good question, but for this case, unless they do not provide us with the word her, right? If there is no her, owing to the fact that, okay, the fact that Rachel is very persistent, okay, that is when we can use the fact that. But because they gave us the word her, so the fact that cannot be used in this question. Okay, because they gave us this word, so they want you to only give them the specific answer for changing what belongs to Rachel. Persistent, we have to change to its noun form. Okay, persistent, we change it to the noun form, right? What is the noun form? Persistence. Okay, persistent, we change it to owing to her persistence. Okay, so persistence is the correct answer in this case. So owing to her persistence, Rachel has made a new swim record in the Youth Olympics. Okay, so this is when we use persistent to persistence, right? Because this is a noun form, it belongs to Rachel. Okay, moving on to our next question. Now, another direct to indirect speech question. So let's try doing this question together, right? You want to try answering this correctly? Please let me know if you want me to do any annotations on this question beforehand, right? So what should we change and what should not be changed? You have to be very clear about it and your tenses as well. Okay, so hi everyone. For those who are new here, right, feel free to join our live session to discuss about these English questions and follow us if you haven't. Okay, so question number one, let's try. Okay, question number one, what is the answer for this question over here? You to he or she. Okay, in this case, my father, right? My father, we have to say it's me. Okay, okay, ask me or I. Okay, so we change you to me or I, right? Yep. Okay, because my father cannot be talking to someone else when the dialogue is directed to me. Okay, so question number one. Yesterday changed to the previous day. Yes, that's correct. Okay, yesterday we changed to the previous day. Okay, yesterday changed to the previous day. So my father asked me if, okay, my father asked me if I, right? So let me box these two up again. Did and attend. Did is past tense. Okay, because of the word did, that's why attend has to be in its base form. So if I what? This is the highlights of the question. Yes, okay. Because of the word did, if I had attended, okay, so we have to use had attended the morning training session, okay, the previous day. Okay, so let me write this out. Morning training session. Okay, so remember to put the full stop. Okay, so if the question says like, do you remember where I placed the keys? Okay, my father asked. Okay, so try doing this question, right? You'll be able to actually identify the keywords and how you should be tackling these questions when facing direct speech. Okay, so do you remember where I placed the keys? So my father asked me, okay, same starting over here, right? Okay, same start over here. So do you remember? So this is the same start. Any answers for this question over here? Okay, Saku, can you try? What's with the smiley face? Okay, my father asked me, right? I give you the starting question. I'll give you the starting sentence, okay? So my father asked me, okay, so ask me, right? So this case, what do we have to change, right? Let's start annotating again. I don't think we did this, did we? We didn't do this, the dice. So you have to remember that in different contexts of questions, you have to change and adapt accordingly to the tenses that they give you as well. So you, yes, okay, so if I, right, okay, let me box up do and remember. Okay, so do, this is in present tense. Okay, do you see the difference between do and did? Okay, so yes, Raylene, very good. However, there's one issue here, which is the I will be he instead of I. Right? This will be referring to my father. Okay, because my father is asking the question. But Raylene, your answer is correct. Okay, so my father asked me if I remembered where he had placed the keys. Okay, because place over here is past tense. Okay, because place over here is past tense, therefore this question over here will have to be changed, right? The front part will be in um, simple past tense, and afterwards it will be in past perfect. Okay, means that Raylene understood the concept of how we should change it in direct and indirect speech, right? But you just have to take note that this I over here directs to my father, so we have to change to where he had placed the keys instead of where I had placed the keys. Okay, very good. So let's go on to question number 2. Okay, all the pupils are expected to submit their travel declaration to their teacher tomorrow. Okay, now every pupil, right? All the pupils is now changed to every. Your teacher gave you a journal for direct indirect speech. Wow. So what is this journal about? You have a lot of different questions recorded down in that journal, is it? Okay, that will be very helpful for your revision as well. What to change? Okay, every one of the pupils are expected to submit their travel declaration to their teacher tomorrow. Okay, the dice, right? Every already indicates that it's individual, so every pupil is just enough. So every pupil, okay, is. Okay, we change everything to singular form. So there we change it to his or her. Is expected, yes, is expected to submit. Okay, his. Okay, every pupil is expected to submit his travel declaration. Okay, to his teacher tomorrow. You can use his or her for this case because they didn't specify the gender of the students. Okay, you can just use his or her, right? Why his? Because singular, we cannot say there. Okay, there is plural form. But for this case, because every pupil, right? The pupil is already an individual, one person. Pupil is one person. Okay, so therefore we have to change everything to the singular form, and we change are to is. Okay, we change from are to is. Understand? Okay, moving on to the next question. Grandma dislikes Western food. Ali loves it. So we use is not shared. Okay, hi Ozil, welcome. The dice. Oh no, but okay. The dice. Which part of this do you not understand? Okay, every Pupil means every single person, right? Okay, every single person in this case is pupil. Okay, when there's a space over here, it means that it is singular form. So every day is every single day, right? So therefore, you need to know that they have become an individual form, so it will be in singular, and you have to use is instead of are and his instead of there, right? You can use her or you can use her or his for this case, but I chose to use his to be consistent as well, right? So the gender is not specified. You can use both. Wow, you're finally free from your CCA. Oh, Zhu. Oh, yeah, it may be CCA stepped down already, right? For the Sec 4s. Okay, congratulations. Right? Yeah, just a little more to go before you graduate from secondary school. Okay, question number 3. Grandma dislikes Western food. Ali loves it. So it's not shared. So what do we say over here for question number 3? Ali's love for Western food is not shared by Grandma. Very good. Okay, Ali's love for Western food is not shared by Grandma. Tomorrow lesson what time? Tomorrow we don't have any live sessions. Okay, the next live session will be next Tuesday. Oh yeah, where is Bai? Thank you for reminding. Bai is here. Okay, let me just include it over here. Alright, the next live session will be on Tuesday, 5:30 p.m. by Teacher Yao Wei. If I'm not wrong, let me check. Okay, I think I will also have a live session next Tuesday at in the afternoon, so feel free to tune in and join us. Later on, we have Teacher Mitsuko's live. Yay! Okay, so for those of you who are interested in Teacher Mitsuko's live session, feel free to tune in at 5:30 p.m. later on to join Teacher Mitsuko in her live session. Okay? Right, then next week, Teacher Yahweh will be back, and you can join his live session on Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. as well. Okay, so, yep. Okay, let's complete the last 2 questions before we end today's live session. I miss Teacher Jamie's, yes. Right, so Ozil, let's try question number 4. In spite. Okay, in spite usually comes with of, right? In spite of his okay, or in spite of being. Okay, this will be easier. In spite of being witty. Okay, in spite of being witty. In spite of being witty. Yes, Tom. What happened to Tom? I was not popular in class. Oh, Zhu, suddenly become you. Right, how about Tom? Okay, Tom was not popular in class. Okay, so in spite of the fact that Tom was witty is also accepted. Okay, so you can also use the fact that for this question. Okay, going on to question number 5. Tenny was delighted. She had won the first prize in the lucky draw. I want to do composition. The guys, you definitely can do composition if you join us at our Writers at Work. Right, we do have 9 branches island-wide, so you can join any of our branches to do composition with us every week. And you get to learn a lot of compo and write a lot of them as well. Okay, so much to Tanny's delight. That's correct. Much to Tanny's delight. Okay. She had won the first prize. But you need a harder one. Definitely, in Writers at Work, our model compositions or all our compositions that we teach are for more advanced levels, right? We do have a lot of good phrases for students to memorize and apply, right? We do teach them compo writing skills for them to actually apply in their school compositions as well, right? Try essays, those you. Yes, so for primary school students, if you are interested, right, join our June holiday compo crash course for actually to see how it works, right? If you are like unsure whether you want to join a long term, you can join our June holiday crash course program as well, right? Just for a week, you are able to learn at least several compositions and compo skills to tackle these exam topics as well. Right, so for our students, we do have a lot of different stories and story plots for them to develop, and it's very entertaining and interesting lessons if you join us. Okay, so thank you all for joining our live session today, right? I hope you learned something new, especially for those of you who are learning the tenses together, right? I hope you can understand and apply these in your synthesis and transformation questions. Um, and those of you who are interested, feel free to WhatsApp our number at the top 84049281 for any more questions if you want to ask us anything, right? Regarding enrollment to our center, to our June holiday program, right? Those will be answered via our WhatsApp. Okay, so bye bye and see you all soon. Okay.